time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylon Edwards, and of course, Tom Mazaway. Let's talk some sports.
Better than us? Nobody! Here we go! Tuesday, January 9th, 2024. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, fox2detroit.com, and the Fox local app if you are watching live. If you're watching on YouTube, hello everybody. Hit that like button. And of course, hit subscribe. Just 200 subscribers shy of 60,000 on this platform. The Michigan Wolverines are the national champions. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon in Houston, may or may not be able to join us today, but he will be here tomorrow. Tom Mazaway is with us. The great Brandon Kool-aid is with us. And, of course, Pete Spivak in the house as well. Tom Mazaway, good afternoon to you, my friend.
Hey, Rye, what a great night last night was. What a fun game. First quarter was amazing. I was like, I couldn't stop smiling. And then it got a little tight. I'll be honest, it got a little tight. But really, never lost faith in them because that defense was that good. And boy, did they punish those Washington players. They were walking off in pain. And congratulations to Jim Harbaugh and the Michigan Wolverines for finishing the job when everything was against them. Every single thing was against this team.
I was watching last night, and it was weird how I felt. I couldn't describe appropriately how I felt watching the game. I was, in a way, surprisingly a little subdued just sitting there watching the game. And when the clock hit 0 and that confetti kind of came down and everybody was running around chasing Jim Harbaugh, trying to give him the Gatorade bath. Ultimately, they were successful in giving him the Gatorade bath. I just thought to myself, all of the work that these guys have been through, all of the shows that we have done over the years with the September Heismans and the Tate Forciers and the Mark D'Antonio era and losing to Ohio State seemingly 20 years in a row. For the last 2 decades, going through the Rich Rodriguez era, going through an era of Jim Harbaugh in which, Ohio State's head coach at one point said we were going to hang 100 on him, but then ultimately COVID got in the way and the game had to be canceled. For 20 years of frustration, 20 years of storylines, and I know it's been 26 years since their last national title, but that team in 2006 was pretty damn good too, and probably could have won a national championship, but this team did do that, and essentially from Appalachian State in 2007, this thing has gone downhill. But for the last 3 years specifically, Jim Harbaugh and what he's been able to do at Michigan has been nothing short of spectacular. I was one of those guys that was hoping that Michigan would make a change after that COVID year. I did not think Jim Harbaugh was going to get it done at Michigan. And thankfully, I was wrong. He had 1 bowl win, no Big Ten titles, 0-6 against Ohio State. Hell, Michigan State had his number. But the last 3 years since Michigan cut his salary in order to stay, the Wolverines athletic department cut Jim Harbaugh's salary. You want to stay at Michigan? You want to stay the head coach at Michigan? Here's what we're going to do. You're going to take less. You're going to take a pay cut.
Embarrass them.
And there you have it. Since that time, 40-3. 3 straight Big Ten titles. Never been done in the history of Michigan football before. He has not lost to Ohio State in 3 years. A 15-0 perfect season, which has not been done in Michigan football history. This era of Michigan football, this team at Michigan, the 2023 team, is the greatest collection of players that this university has ever seen, and they are the national champions. And to be able to say that it leaves me speechless.
Well said, too. For being speechless, you hit it all on the head. And we've seen it the last 3 years. This is the greatest Michigan time ever. Past Bo, past them all. This is the guy now. Jim Harbaugh and his merry band of men got this job done. They are a real family. And you see the Harbaugh family. How do you not love the Harbaugh family? I mean, how do you not? Parents go to the games. His brother, John Harbaugh, could be coach of the year this year. He's got the #1 team in the Baltimore Ravens. He finds time. So many delays in the airports. I had 3 friends get stranded in Jacksonville with tickets, and they couldn't make it to the freaking game. Luckily for them, they were able to sell them on the market there when they knew they couldn't get there.
I heard Derek Kevra said he had a friend got a layover in the plane got diverted to Austin.
Yeah.
They had to rent a car and drove there.
Well, good for them.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
people were in Jacksonville.
Yeah,
They had no
crazy.
chance to make it to Houston. But John Harbaugh got there. And you see him sneak up on his brother in
Yeah,
the second quarter.
quarter.
That was fantastic. And then at the end, they're all celebrating. It's just so great. Even if you don't like Michigan, how do you not like this story? I mean, they have gotten everything thrown at them. Everything. Like people calling them cheaters. People saying that they shouldn't have these wins. That Jim Harbaugh shouldn't be allowed to coach. That this team isn't worthy. Then you got guys from the SEC, everyone picking against Michigan. All those coaches, all those broadcasters. I don't think there was one, maybe 1 or 2 that picked Michigan to win. And we'll tell you about Paul Feinbaum later. Even he's now a Michigan fan, or at least he admitted he was wrong about this team. They even said, how about Georgia? Who would you pick? He's like, Michigan's the best team in the country. And they are the best team in the country. The best team won the national championship. And it was a good game. But they pounded and beaten the crap out of that Washington team. Washington, they had no chance to win that game. Donovan Edwards, fantastic first quarter. 6 runs.
Yeah, and I want to get into the game in just a little bit. We could pick out bits and pieces of the game,
But he was
sure, but just
spectacular.
absolutely, but just a couple of just overall general themes from this game. I dropped my pen. Here it is.
Need one?
No, I got it. I was thinking about the Big Ten too last night, and we never thought a Big Ten team not named Ohio State could ever win the national championship. Ohio State plays at a different speed. Ohio State recruits a different type of player. I believe Michigan, and somebody might be able to correct me on this, I believe Michigan only was playing with 2 5-star players last night. That's Will Johnson and the quarterback, J.J. McCarthy.
Sounds about right.
Those are the only 2 5-stars on this team. And every year we'd go through, Alabama and Georgia and LSU and the SEC just recruit a different type of player. And Michigan, their cap would be maybe you could beat Ohio State at some point, potentially maybe 3 times in 10 years, something like that. But that is your cap. That is where you are capped off. And that wasn't the case. And as I'm watching that game, and as it is becoming clear in the fourth quarter that Michigan's going to win it with every Blake Corum touchdown run and every interception after that, as it was becoming clear, I'm like, they're going to win the national championship. And you just can't help but think back to all of those times you were arguing with a college football fan. Maybe it was a Michigan fan. Maybe it was a Michigan State fan or an Ohio State fan or somebody that just loves college football. Maybe it's somebody that doesn't pay attention to college football at all, but the only thing they know is that the SEC wins the national championship every year. They would always tell you that it can never be done at Michigan. It just can't happen. It's not the university, the administration they wouldn't let the type of kid
They're good,
into
but
Michigan,
they're not great.
right? That could go all the way. And last night, all of those dragons were slayed, and it was just awesome to see. And for Jim Harbaugh and all the things that he's been through, for these players and all the things that they've been through, they played six games this year without their head coach.
Yeah.
And I thought Jim Harbaugh was great afterwards. Somebody asked about the accomplishment and this, that, and the other thing, and he interjected. He said it was the way it was supposed to be, and we did it the right way. We're innocent. Those were his words. We're innocent. And that will play out. We'll see what happens. And I know there's a faction of people out there today that will never give Michigan credit for anything they do, and that's fine. I really am not going to allow that to steal my joy on a day like today. Maybe that's a tomorrow story or a next week story or something like that. I don't know what day that story is, but it ain't today for me.
It's already in the books. They won. They did it.
Yeah, it's not today for me. So I just want to say this was an unbelievable experience. The last 6 weeks or so, 7 weeks of the season since the time they played Penn State brought me some of the greatest joy as a Michigan football fan that I've ever experienced. From Penn State to Ohio State to winning a Big Ten championship for a third straight year, something no other Michigan team has done outright, Big Ten championships, to beating Alabama and slaying that SEC Dragon in the Rose Bowl nonetheless, and then to cap it off with a dominating performance really against a really good Washington team, the second best team in the country, to win the national championship game in Houston is something no Michigan fan will ever forget.
They made Michael Penix look average. They made I know their running back was hurt, but he played hard. Their offensive line was dominated by this Michigan defense. Wow. I mean, Jesse Minter, fantastic job.
Unbelievable.
Fantastic staff that Jim Harbaugh put together. How lucky are we here if you root for Michigan or you root for the Lions? How about those staffs that these coaches and executive boards put together? How about it, man? How about everyone wanting Jim Harbaugh to come back, all the players. Ward Manuel says it. Look, I don't blame the NFL for wanting to look at this guy. We want to keep him, and we hope he stays. But no one will begrudge him if he goes and talks to people, and he will. He'll talk, and hopefully he'll make the decision to stay close to those people that were at the game last night, his parents and the rest of his family. He names every single person in his family that means so much to him. His boys at Michigan and his family at home in Ann Arbor. And I hope that's where his home is going forward.
You know, you talk about family. One of the things, as college football continues to change as well, the one thing that does seem to stay consistent in college football is that at Michigan, and this is cliche, I know it's written in the tunnels. I said it after Alabama, and I'll say it after this too. It really is about the team, the team, the team. You know, if you listen to any of this postgame, it was Blake Corum talking about Donovan Edwards.
Yeah.
Donovan Edwards talking about Blake Corum. J.J. McCarthy talking about the offensive line.
Mikey Sanders
talking about the whole team.
Man.
The linebackers talking about the offensive line. The offensive line talking about the defense and the dominating performances. The head coach talking about the assistant coaches. I just don't see that in college football anymore. And I think one of the things that Braylon has pointed out, which I thought was totally perfect on this show a couple of weeks ago when they were playing Ohio State, when Michigan was playing Ohio State, it's that Ohio State seems like they went from a team that just, you come here, you go to the league.
Correct.
But at Michigan, you come here and you're joining something bigger than yourself. And, oh, yeah, by the way, you'll probably go to the league, too. 15, 20 players on the field last night going to have an opportunity to play at the next level. Jamie Morris is going to join us, one of the all-time Michigan greats. He will join us coming up in about 15, 20 minutes from now. Lots to get to today, but first, a message from Dispo.
Start your year lifted. Visit Dispo Dispensary today for exclusive new deals. Experience Dispo Dispensary, a team that curates an unbelievable atmosphere. Mixed with fresh inventory from Michigan's largest variety of products. Come through our stores or order on Dispo Dash today. New year, new deals, same plug. Dispo Dispensary, disposhops.com, your local cannabis plug.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
For over 60 years, Fairway Packing Company has provided Michigan's finest hotels, casinos, and restaurants with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. You can experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. All you got to do is visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks. Hey, go get a celebration steak. No doubt about it. If you can't make it in person, go ahead and order online. Fairwaypacking.com, fairwaypacking.com.
Let's go, Michigan fans. We did this for y'all. What a blessing it is to be able to receive such an amazing accolation that we did today. I'm blessed, man. It's a blessing for all of us to be out here to win a national championship, for the fans, for the alumni, for the program, for the university. All I got to say is God bless and go Blue.
Big game Don.
The Don.
Donovan Edwards, at one point in the game, had 2 carries and 2 touchdowns. It was incredible as you were watching it. Donovan Edwards, a 41-yard run in the first quarter, and then a 46-yard run in the first quarter. And just like that, before you could blink, it was 14-3 Michigan. And the whole theme of the game changed from that first Donovan Edwards run, which seemed like he was bottled up in the middle, found a seam, and down the sidelines he went, found the corner of the end zone. Donovan Edwards, in big games, for a player that really didn't do much on the field this year, that was pretty special, man.
I forgot how fast he was. It looked like the Washington players were running in slow motion, running after him. It was like, whoa. Honestly, man, why only 6 carries? It's like the Lions. They have just an exuberance of riches. They have so many great players that you got to give the ball to. I thought originally Donovan Edwards should have been named the MVP of the game.
I originally did too.
I still believe he should have. But Blake Corum, great. Phenomenal. The guy. What? How many touchdowns does he have? 27.
I don't know the
27.
number.
Amazing.
21 carries, 134 yards, and 2 touchdowns last night. Both touchdowns in the fourth quarter for Blake Corum.
To put it away.
And look, Donovan Edwards has been one of those players at Michigan that this team hasn't seen that type of speed in a long, long time.
Yeah.
And he is one of the guys, that class really helped get Michigan over the edge here. They helped propel Michigan to beat Ohio State, and I hope he comes back. I know what he said prior to the season, that he was leaving for the NFL, and we'll see what happens now. But when you see last night, you understand why any NFL team would fall in love with this
Hell
kid.
Yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't for that, though, the 7-3, that run changed everything.
Sure did. They gave them the lead. They played from the front. They were a front runner, like a front runner in the Preakness Stakes. Usually wins the Preakness Stakes, the second jewel of the Triple Crown in horse racing. It's the shorter race. They played in front, and their defense, that's all they needed. they win the game with that. His 2 touchdowns, it's ball game. 14-13 is the final. That's all they needed. But I'll tell you, JJ's quarterback keeper, was that late third or early fourth, saved their ass. They were inside their own 5-yard line, and it seemed like they just hit a roadblock. I don't know what the hell Sharon Moore was calling, but Washington was ready for every single play. And I texted you. I'm like, what the hell are we doing?
And what did I say back? I don't care how it looks. There is no tomorrow. Get it done by any means necessary. Run it, throw it, keep it, get a tipped pass. However you want to get it done, get it done. There's no style points in this one.
I know.
You don't need style points in this one, and they ultimately got them at the end. To me, when you're playing from the front, one thing you can do when you're playing from the front is just pin your ears back and get after the quarterback. And what they did to Michael Penix Jr. yesterday, they beat him up. I was hoping – I like Michael Penix Jr. It made me sad almost a little bit the way he exited the field with a towel over his face. It looked like a cartoon character almost that just got so beat up.
Yeah, he's holding his ribs. I really thought he was putting on a show, to be honest with you.
Holding his ribs.
I know he took a beating.
Towel over the head.
I know.
Hat on. It looked like they have just taken this kid to the morgue.
Yeah. He took a beating, but I don't think he took that bad of a beating. But actually, who am I to say that? I mean, he did get passes off. They didn't sack him but one time, maybe 2 times at most. But they beat him up. They just trashed that team. They beat that offensive lineup like nobody's business. And they were the Joe Moore, they call it?
Yeah.
The Joe
Moore
they couldn't
offensive
give it
line. They couldn't give it to Michigan again for a third straight year.
But you know what?
It's almost like you can't give the MVP to LeBron James every year. You got to give it to somebody else, you know?
I hear you.
Can't give Michael Jordan the MVP every single year.
I hear, but maybe it was a jinx because the team that won it did not finish up.
You mentioned Jesse Minter in that Michigan defense. A lot of people mocked Michigan's defense and mocked Michigan's defensive numbers coming into last night's game because, you know, Michael Penix was obviously the best quarterback they had seen all year. They saw great receivers at Ohio State, but I think last night with the receivers that Washington had, coupled with the quarterback itself, that was going to be an offense that they have not seen all year long.
That receiver was something.
Yeah, Odunze, Rome Odunze, yeah. And Michigan's defense, they couldn't run on him. They couldn't pass on him. They did get home a couple of times with some sacks, but that Michigan defense hit every single note possible. And more importantly, when Washington did make a few plays, Michigan's defense, absolutely. The closer Washington got to the goal line, the more stiff Michigan's defense was.
That 4th down, they got a touchdown on, which I was disappointed. I really believed, Michigan's going to stop him here, and they did get Odunze late in the end zone there. But how hard is it to stop him all day long? They did the best job they possibly could on a kid that's going in the first round.
And by the way, couple of things last night. Penix missed a wide open Odunze.
He missed a couple passes.
One was dropped. Every championship team has a little bit of luck along their run.
Yes.
And last night, Michigan got some luck.
They did.
Penix was not his best. Mm-mm. He missed 3 throws maybe, and there was 1 or 2 drops. So that's 5 plays that kind of, went in their favor, and that happens. You need that. Some guy pointed out to me last night the punt return at the 1-yard line in the Alabama game.
Oh, God.
To stay out of the end zone. That was maybe the luck play that this team needed to win a national championship too. I thought once he decided to field the ball, it was a great play to keep it out of the end zone. Not a luck play, but a great play to keep it out of the end zone. You could talk semantics about that, but Tom Masway, it is just incredible how that game was played last night.
It was a fun game, man. And like I said, we were lucky as Michigan fans. We got that early lead and got to coast home pretty much after that. Yeah, there was some scares, but Ryan said it. You need some luck along the way. We'll take a drop pass. We'll take a bad pass here and there. But you know what? The Michigan defense, we could say, forced those errors.
Yeah.
Because Penix was kind of running for his life.
Hey, how about how about Mikey Sanders-Still, too?
Oh, I wanted him to go all the way.
One of the greatest careers ever at Michigan, Mikey Sanders-Still.
Can he play on Sundays?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, just coming to Michigan as a wide receiver and having to learn a completely different position. One of the great leaders at Michigan, a captain. I was so happy for that guy. And you talk about a player-led team, and the players had to police themselves a lot this year with their head coach missing 6 games, 3 in the beginning, 3 at the end of the regular season. And it's guys like Mikey Sanders-Still that you can thank for keeping it all together.
Yeah.
When you have a veteran-laden team like Michigan has had, I just think those players deserve so much credit. And not only is it one thing to be named national champions or to earn a national championship, it's another thing to be considered the greatest Michigan football team in the history of the university. And that's 144 different versions of that.
Yeah, they were. They are. And I watched the 97 team win the championship against Washington State. That was a great team. I mean, come on. Charles Woodson.
Yeah.
They had some great
Marcus
players.
Ray.
Oh,
Glenn
Marcus Ray even
Steele.
tweeted last night. They're all on board here. This is the best group of players and the best. Hey, I love Lloyd Carr. Love him. Jim Harbaugh is going to go down as the best coach in Michigan history when it's all said and done.
Guys, Chris Jenkins was on the field post-game. Here's what he had to say about that Michigan national championship and defensive effort.
Hey, we said it since the beginning of the year, man. Those who stay, we came back for a reason. Those who stay will be champions, and look what happened. All that work everybody put in. No matter the doubters, the critics, the haters, whatever. No matter the adversity we face, this team, from players to coaches to staff, buckled down, man. And we became legends tonight. We done proved the whole world wrong. And I'm so proud of everybody, man. Thank you so much. Go Blue forever. I'm a Michigan man for life. Go Blue forever, man.
He is a Michigan man for life, says Chris Jenkins. And speaking of another Michigan man, we'll talk about Jim Harbaugh. We'll do that next. He had some really great things to say at the podium, and I want to go through that with you. So we'll do that next. But first, a message from Big Boy.
All right, fellas. You know, winter time is always better with comfort foods from Big Boy. You want to start your day with a great breakfast. The stuffed potato pancakes are back, as well as the lumberjack and the Santa Fe garden omelet. And they have the apple pie hot cakes now, as well as the regular hot cakes. You know how good those are at Big Boy. And then, of course, you want a little lunch or dinner, the veal parmesan, the Southern Comfort chicken bowl, and you want to get a shake when you're all said and done. They got all the flavors, but the newest flavor before the holiday season is completely over, it's the gingerbread shake. Get that at your local Big Boy.
Have you ever wondered where all the finest restaurants get their steaks? It's Fairway Packing Company, providing Michigan restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef for over 60 years. But now you can buy these cuts of meat for yourself at the Steak Shop by Fairway Packing Company. Prime porterhouse, A5 Japanese New York strip steak, dry-aged Wagyu beef tomahawk. Delicious. Get to the Steak Shop today. Enjoy fine wine, have a private party, and get the finest cuts of meat anywhere. The Steak Shop on Mack Avenue in Grosse Pointe Woods, or order online, fairwaypacking.com.
Planet Fitness, you can get energy without the judgment.
Hi, can you help me with this?
You don't know how to use it?
This is better.
Join now through January 12th for just 24 cents down, $10 a month. Never intimidating. Always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. Join today during the Big Fitness Energy Sale for 24 cents down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, January 12th.
Over 50 Metro Detroit locations.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot off the press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Dick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Hey, are you tired of wearing the same old Detroit sports merch? Well, a new era in sports wearables, new designs, amazing apparel, the ultimate swag. Check out Woodward Sports' latest gear at woodwardsports.com. Great items, great quality, and great prices as well. Go to woodwardsports.com. Click on the shop tab. And we are right back here at Woodward Sports. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards in Houston, coming back tonight or in the morning, I believe. He is expected to join us tomorrow, so that's good. Tom Mazaway in the house in the big chair as well. The Maz chair, you know, it's so funny about the Maz chair, if we could just get a shot of it. I never realized that the Maz chair had a Woodward Sports logo on the back of it.
It's because of the orthopedic back pillow.
Can you show the people, or no? You're just locked in right now.
I'm locked in.
You're locked in. Maz
It's just a yellow pillow,
as
flat
an
yellow
orthopedic
pillow.
back pillow.
I call it that.
That he uses. It's just a big yellow pillow that covers up the Woodward Sports logo on the back of that chair.
Well, I would have
all the
covered it
time.
up had
Well,
that not
no
been
doubt.
there.
But when you stand up, even the back pillow is there.
And Lady James, we have that. We have the Lions, the Red Wings, the Pistons, and the Tigers. They all got a little something on the chairs.
Absolutely. Kool-aid is with us. Pete Spivak is with us as well. In the last segment, you just heard, Chris Jenkins, Michigan defensive lineman, talk about being a Michigan man for life. Well, Jim Harbaugh is a Michigan man for life as well. Here's what he had to say at the podium. A really great podium session, I thought, from Jim Harbaugh, a man who is very, shall I say, awkward with the media in his post-game sessions. I thought he opened up really well yesterday. I was glued to it all. Here's what Jim Harbaugh has to say about being a Michigan man.
Someday when they throw dirt over top of me, if somebody who's eulogizing me, who was on this team or one of my teammates, when I was playing at Michigan, if they would simply say he was a Michigan man, that would mean everything. It would mean everything to me.
I love him.
What does that say about his love for Michigan?
He was choking up.
I think that right there, and he was telling stories prior to the sound that you heard. He was telling stories of being a kid and having his dad come home after, when he was coaching with Bo, and always talk about the team and Michigan. And it was just instilled in him in such a young age. And as we talk about what's next for Jim Harbaugh and this Michigan team, that piece of it right there that you just heard is the missing link, I think, from so many of these national conversations, even local conversations about it. I'm not sure anybody loves going to work every day at their job as Jim Harbaugh loves going to work at Michigan. And I just don't think people understand that. And when you're talking about your funeral and how you want people to talk about you, that is pretty impressive stuff. That is a link, a connection that I feel like is an unbreakable bond. I could be wrong, but when you say stuff like that, it leads me to believe, what is next for him?
I think, like you said it, and you bet someone, a matter of fact, on the chat last week, a Woodward shirt that he's going to stay.
Quarter zip.
I really, truly believe.
You wrote that down, right?
He's got it. I know he's hired Don Yee. I think he was the agent for Tom Brady, if I'm not mistaken. Don Yee is a big-time agent, and why would you hire an agent when you already had a deal set for you? 10 years, $125 million on the table for Michigan. So he brings Don Yee in. If Don Yee keeps him at Michigan, Don Yee gets a piece of that deal. But Jim did it on his own. So it leads you to believe he's definitely going to go talk to the NFL and see if something is a fit. He will. I hope nothing's a fit. I hope this is the only fit for him. I hope John Harbaugh last night told him, hey, man, we're going to the playoffs next week. And like he said, Jim said, I could sit at the big boy table now. My dad won a championship. My brother won a Super Bowl. And now I won a national championship. He said, I'm not at the kids' table anymore. I could sit at the big boy table. I just hope that coaching in a Super Bowl and getting almost, I would say, ripped off. 49ers should have won that game. They didn't. The Harbaugh, if you remember that, at the Superdome. I hope he stays, man.
No doubt. And let me ask you about this, too. So Jim Harbaugh was asked. I don't want to ask you. I'm going to play this.
I don't blame you.
Jim Harbaugh was asked, as the question has to be asked. I understand that, right? I mean, it's what do you think he's going to say? Yes, guys, this is my last game. I'm leaving for the NFL. He's not going to say that, and he's not going to say, yes, I'm definitely coming back either.
He did say, hey, can you give me a break and let me enjoy this?
That's what this is. Let's play it.
Oh, sorry.
I just want to enjoy this. And I hope you give me that, Can a guy have that? Does it always have to be, what's next? What's the future? Like I said the other day, I hope to have a future. Hope there's a tomorrow, a day after tomorrow, a next week, a next month, a next year. And just one last thing. I got two great loves. My love at work, the people I work with, coaches, the staff, players, and the love I have for my family at home, and just means a lot. See a couple of the kids here right there: Jimmy, Grace, Sarah, Johnny, Jack, Katie, Addie. They're just the loves of my life, and my brother John being here, my dad and mom being here, and then to be here with our team, and that's those two families together celebrating. It's glorious. It is just a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful thing. And, so I saw this interviewing a therapist, talking to a therapist, reading something about this. This is about a year ago. I came across the information that 95% of the time, our brains are thinking about what's next.
Of course.
We are thinking about maybe not what's next, but 95% of the time, your brain is thinking about something other than what you're doing right now in this moment. Maybe as you're sitting there worrying about how to get Jaime Morris on in the next couple of minutes. Or maybe Pete's over there worrying about what he's going to eat for dinner. Kool-Aid's got his wife at home. You're always thinking about something.
He's got a baby coming.
He's like, oh, man, I got to get the crib ready. It could be as simple as that. Me, I'm like, oh, damn, I got to get my kid baseball lessons. You know what I mean? You are 95% of the time, our brains are thinking about something other than what we're doing right now. And I thought of that last night when Jim Harbaugh says, can I just enjoy this right now?
Yeah.
Because we don't enjoy the right now.
No.
Even for us right here, what we do, if you're a Michigan fan out there, after really 20 years of being less than, right? We think we were here as a pro. We weren't here. We just started to get here over the last 3 years, and now we're here, but we weren't here. We weren't here. Maybe we were here. Whatever that means. And I think even for us, instead of enjoying last night, instead of enjoying these players, it almost feels like we are so consumed now with who's staying, who's leaving. Is Harbaugh going to go to the NFL? Is he coming back to Michigan? Instead of just appreciating what happened in the moment. I totally understand it because it's how we're wired. But if we learn to just maybe enjoy ourselves a little bit more, maybe we'd be a little bit happier.
Hey, I've been to many therapists. I've talked to many people. And my family, my wife would always tell me, you've done good for yourself. Stop being so hard on yourself. You've done so much of the things that you wanted to do. But I'm always thinking, I could have done this. I should have done this. I could have had this. Enjoy the moment. I am truly, when I saw Jim Harbaugh say that, it really hit me. I'm happy. I'm so happy for him. And he deserves to do whatever the hell he wants to do. I hope he chooses to live in the moment and live here and stay here going forward. But you're right, Rye. I'm already past what we're doing here, thinking about. We got Jaime Morris coming on. Okay, I've got my friend Marc Fellhauer went to the game last night from the Drew Mike podcast. I wonder if he landed yet. Love to talk to him. Doc Maakaron's going to come on. We'll talk to him.
You're looking outside at this rain thing. I just parked a mile away. I hate Michigan. I wish I lived in Florida kind of thing.
I hate the snow. Nonetheless, live in the moment, guys. Enjoy it. If you're a Michigan fan, if you're a football fan, you had a great year. I know Michigan State fans don't feel this way, but you know what? This is our time.
So one of the things about what is next is, and maybe this is a little bit of a slip up, maybe it's not, maybe it was intentional, maybe it was not, maybe it doesn't matter whether Jim Harbaugh is the head coach or not. There will be a plan in place if he does leave. Here's what he had to say on the Scott Van Pelt show after the game about when spring practice is.
Told him 3 or 4 days ago we're moving spring practice back. We usually start on Valentine's Day, February 14th. Because we love football. But this year we're going to move it back. We're going to move it back about a month. That'll be good, too. We'll have some nice weather in the spring in Ann Arbor.
Okay, so you're thinking about the spring in Ann Arbor, huh?
That's great, isn't
SVP.
it?
SVP.
Oh, I see. So you're thinking about the spring in Ann Arbor.
I love it.
Isn't that great?
I love it, man. That gave us a little hope. We hope that was a slip-up, and he's staying. We don't know that yet, though. He's gonna go dancing and see who's his dance partner.
Yeah, right?
He is.
So if you're watching ESPN this morning, and I look, for as much as I rip ESPN, I thought ESPN did a really nice job with all their pregame coverage and in the broadcast of the game and all the different channels. I was watching Fowler and Herb Street.
Me too. I don't change the channel.
No, I don't either. I don't do the alternate broadcasts.
I never do.
Or I don't do. I think there was a Manning cast for the game. I didn't do the Manning cast.
It was a Pat McAfee.
Yeah, I didn't do a McAfee.
Yeah,
anything like that. But this morning, Paul Feinbaum was on ESPN, and Paul Feinbaum has been one of Jim Harbaugh and Michigan's harshest critics. Here's what he had to say this morning about the national champion Michigan Wolverines.
If Georgia was in that 4, who's hoisting the trophy last night?
Michigan. I have said all along I thought Georgia was the best team in the country, but after last night, I changed my mind. And listen, hey, I say this to Georgia: if you wanted to be the champion, beat Alabama. Quit losing to them, and ultimately, the best team is the national champion.
Booger, can you believe this? This is a moment unlike anything I've ever heard. SEC traitor. They're going to lose their minds in the southeastern part of the country. Paul Feinbaum just said Michigan was better than Georgia.
How about that?
How about
Game is due.
If you would have saw the faces on that panel.
Right. And Booger, of course, went in and said, yeah, I'm going to keep my comments to myself.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Look, you're going to get that, right? I mean, you're going to get that. Go beat Alabama. You want to be in the national championship game? Go beat Alabama. That's like saying Michigan could beat Ohio State, but they deserve to be in the national championship game. Yeah. You know, or oh no, Ohio State was but. I mean, if you want to be in the playoff, you got to beat the teams in front of you.
Correct.
That's the way this thing works. Otherwise, you're not the best. You can't be the best if you don't even play in the playoffs.
If Georgia wants to be number one and stay number one, like Paul said, then go ahead and beat Alabama instead of losing to them all the time, beating them once in a while. Alabama's got Georgia's number.
Seriously.
Most times they do.
Seriously. I mean, it's just the way it is. So kudos to Paul Feinbaum for admitting he was, and not only admitting he was wrong, I think this is how he really feels, which further makes me believe all that noise and all that chatter over the last month is all for clicks. It's all for engagement. And it's the same thing like Dockich. If you follow Dan Dockich at all on X, on social media, all the guy does is you don't hear from him at all. And then he talks about Michigan and his stuff blows up.
Yep.
You don't hear from Dockich. Then he talks, Harbaugh's a cheater, a blow up. Dockich goes a couple of weeks. Nobody cares about him. Nobody cares about what he's saying. But Jim Harbaugh cheated. Blows up. I think Feinbaum's the same way. I think Feinbaum, has his base or whatever, obviously in the SEC. But what really makes Paul Feinbaum a national draw is his disdain and hate of Michigan.
He's a good TV guy. He gets it. He gets how to get people to give a damn one way or the other.
Do you know who Paul Feinbaum is?
No.
He's Bobby the Brain Heenan. He's the best managerial heel that ESPN has to offer. It's not like sports journalism. This isn't journalism. This is opinionated
Stephen A. made a career about this. Stephen A. Smith, as great a columnist as he was in Philly and then later in New York, he's made his name by being opinionated, over-opinionated, screaming in your face, and just saying something outlandish. And he is the highest paid guy at ESPN.
And he's in a box with Jordan, Jeter, and Worldwide Wes.
Not bad.
Good stuff. Guys, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll be joined by one of the great Michigan players of all time. Jaime Morris will join us on the phone. But first, a message from Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts and have been for over 90 years. When you see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house, it tells the bad guys one thing.
Stay out.
Whether you are at home or on the road, they're 24/7 professional monitoring, customized solutions from real experts, and technology backed by people means you are backed by the best. Call this number right here, 1-800.
Stay out.
That number again, 1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Have you ever wondered where all the finest restaurants get their steaks? It's Fairway Packing Company, providing Michigan restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef for over 60 years. But now you can buy these cuts of meat for yourself at the Steak Shop by Fairway Packing Company. Prime porterhouse, A5 Japanese New York strip steak, dry aged Wagyu beef tomahawk. Delicious. Get to the Steak Shop today. Enjoy fine wine, have a private party, and get the finest cuts of meat anywhere. The Steak Shop on Mack Avenue in Grosse Pointe Woods, or order online, fairwaypacking.com.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Woodward Sports and Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. That's right. What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. They offer the same great service that customers have come to know. Located in Ferndale on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. And, of course, if you're looking for a Chevy or a Cadillac, Les Stanford in Dearborn on Michigan Avenue, where they have been for over 55 years. You can find the brand you want, all GM brands under one umbrella. LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com.
Find new roads.
Find them. Hey, guys, we are continuing to talk about one of the greatest nights in Michigan football history. The national championship Michigan Wolverines, they beat Washington 34-13 in Houston last night. One of the guys that was at the game, just landed back here at home, is an all-time Michigan great himself, host of the M Zone on WTKA, the great Jaime Morris. How you doing, Jamie?
Hey, Jamie.
I'm doing well. I'm all right. And Maz, how are you guys doing?
Oh, great, man. It's great to be a Michigan Wolverine. Jamie, just paint a picture for me. You're in the stadium last night. You're in Houston. You're watching that game, and you're thinking what?
I'm thinking we got to run the ball. I'm thinking we got to methodically move the ball up and down the field, and we got to play defense. And play the kind of defense they haven't seen ever. Because this season, this is the 14 old team that knows how to win, and they throw the ball. Rain, sleet, or snow, they're in the great Midwest, the Great West, and they like to throw the ball, and they can score in a bundle. So when I saw that first touchdown, when we went down the field and scored that first touchdown, I was ecstatic, and now we needed to stop them. And when they took the ball and they went down and they kicked the field goal, made me feel even better. And when Donovan busted that long one, that just made me go crazy. That was the early impression, but I knew that, adjustments were being made. We were going to go through adjustments, and you saw the adjustments all game long. Tit for tat. Washington took something away. Back Dylan Johnson, he was hurt.
Yeah.
And you could see whenever he came in the game, they tried to get the ball to him. But guess what? When they take him out the game, they spread out and tried to throw the ball. And I guess Penix, he's got that bad knee. He's not going to run the ball. And the running back they put in there is really a wide receiver, so they were going to throw the ball. We just had to get to him, and when we were getting to him, I was happy. So we played great. And I'm very proud to be a Wolverine today. Being a part of this whole foundation that we call, Michigan football. And these guys, I don't think they put a brick on the foundation. They built the whole damn bedroom.
I think when Jim Harbaugh was hired I think the press conference was December 30th, 2014, this was what everybody had in mind. It happened. What do you make over the last, 9 years or so? Michigan football is back atop the college football world. What does that mean to you as a former player, as somebody who loves Michigan? What does that mean to Jim Harbaugh and the school, the university as a whole?
Well, no, we're always told by Bo Schembechler and Don Canham, and I bring up them because they were my mentors. No one's bigger than the logo. No one's bigger. No one should shame that university. So with that being said, Jim Harbaugh came here to do a job, and he took over Brady Hoke's players. And he almost accomplished what he wanted to accomplish right away. And we were all excited, and we all got behind it, and everybody was excited. And then Jim had to recruit his players, get his things going. And, he had some good years, he had some bad years, but he had to get into the recruiting process and everything like that. And then COVID hit, and things went awry. It just went crazy. Jim Harbaugh had to look at himself in the mirror, and he had to change the things that he did. Kids are no longer, you can't just bring a kid to football and say, you play for Michigan and different things like that. You've got to let them have input. And for us, we had a leader when he told us to jump. We didn't ask how high. We just kept jumping until he told us to stop. But nowadays, kids want to be a part of what the orders are. And you saw the transformation of Jim Harbaugh from leader, all-purpose leader, to sharing the whole football community to his players, letting them have say into what outfit they were going to wear for each game, letting them set the rules and different things like that. That would have never happened in my day. So I applaud Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh had to make decisions after the 2000 season on coaches. He got rid of a lot of coaches. If you think about it, that whole staff is brand new. That now those 3 years, that's 3 years ago. And look at how these kids and how everybody, how it's become a community. They talk about the culture of Michigan now. That's what it is. It's a culture of Michigan. And these kids deserve everything. And I'm going to tell you this. This Team 144 is probably, and I'm not the historian that makes this, but you go and look it up. This is probably the greatest team in Michigan football. Why? Because, as I told you, the ultimate leader was Bo Schembechler. So I don't think we did do this, but I don't think we could have did 6 games without Bo on the sidelines. You understand what I'm saying? 6 games without their leader on the sidelines. Just your coordinators. We did it one time. I did it in the Hall of Fame game when Bo got a heart attack and we had to go down there and play. And thanks to John Colasar making a great catch at the end of the game. But imagine Lloyd Carr not being able to coach his team, the '97 team.
Yep.
He was the ultimate leader. But this team, call it whatever you want, this team did it 6 times in one season, and everybody called them everything in the book. Everything in the book, they called them. And this team went and just won games. They put it in the back of their minds, and they went and took on everybody that was on their schedule. Now, was the schedule easy in the beginning? Yeah. But the Big Ten, they played the almighty Buckeyes of Ohio State, beat them. They played the Alabama Crimson Tide, beat them, and then they beat whoever they put in front of them. So that's why I think they're the greatest team in Michigan history.
Jaime Morris joins us, of course, great Michigan running back, played in the NFL, host here in Ann Arbor at WTKA as well. Jaime, tough question here. It's not even a question. This is my thought. I want yours. Where do you have Jim Harbaugh ranked right now on the all-time coaching list? Let's say he continues here at Michigan. And I know he rubs people the wrong way, some people the wrong way, but what he's done this year with all this transfers all around him, Michigan is the steadiest team in the league, in the nation. You don't hear anything about this, and it's because of the way he runs this team. It's like a company to him. It's a family. Where would you put him?
Right now, this man ranks. He's got to be up at the top. He's one of the top 3. I mean, he goes. Right now it's Jim Harbaugh, Lloyd Carr, Bo Schembechler.
Yeah, good man.
And what do those 2 men do above Bo Schembechler? The greatest coach in college football, in my thought.
Natty.
They won national championships.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. But what Harbaugh has done here with this volatile college football world now, to me, it's mind-boggling what he did with this team. I don't know how the hell they did this.
He put a community. It's a bunch of coaches that love their players, and the players love their coaches back, and they were willing. He asked them to do something, and they went out and did it.
Go ahead,
take it one game at a time. Take it one game at a time. Coaches ask you to take each game one game at a time. I was on a team. We did that. We did that every week except for the Minnesota week because we looked ahead to the Ohio State game. And we got beat. That happened.
Talking to Jaime Morris, one of the all-time greats, Michigan football, on the heels of a national championship last night. Jaime, everybody's talking about it today. Jim Harbaugh addressed it last night. He said, just let me enjoy this for a little bit. Everybody wants to know what's next. Can we just enjoy this? What do you Jim Harbaugh's side? I'll get to him last. Let me start with the players. What would you do if Donovan Edwards comes to you and asks your advice about whether he should stay or leave, or J.J. McCarthy comes to you and says, what should I do, Jamie? Should I stay or should I leave? What would you advise, hypothetically speaking, J.J. and Donovan to do next year?
I would ask them, do you think you're ready to go to the NFL? Now, the NFL is a selfish, mean game. It's not about team things. It's about me, and what do I get? How much am I making? So you got to remember, all of that camaraderie that you had in the Michigan locker room, that's gone away. I mean, it's superficial in that locker room. We play together, but we play together after I get paid. That's what it's all about. So I'll ask them, do you feel ready to go? And if you feel ready to go, then you got to trust yourself. But you got to talk to your mother and father. Talk to your position coach and ask them, do you think I'm ready to play at the next level?
What about Jim Harbaugh? Do you think he's staying? Do you think he's leaving?
Look,
JJ 2.
Look, I'm going to say this about Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh has the right to leave now because he made a promise to everybody 8 years ago that he would bring dignity, bring Michigan football back into the minds of the college football nation, that we would be at least in the top 5 when there's somebody talking. We're number 1 right now. So he delivered what he said he was going to do. So if Jim Harbaugh wants to leave, he's got my blessing. Not that he needs it, but he's got my blessing, and I will hold him in high honors because that's what he did. What he said he was going to do. He remade this program, put it back on the map, and he did it in a dignified way. So when everybody says, "Do you expect Jim to leave?" Whatever Jim wants to do, I'm going to say this to you: if there's something that you have that is unfinished and it keeps itching at you, what are you going to do?
Yeah. Well, it's definitely going to be an interesting couple of weeks, that's for sure.
If he stays, man, can they run it back, Jamie?
If he stays, I mean, he's got to have a conversation with JJ. Let me see where JJ's head is. They've done well in the portal. I think these young men around the country love the culture situation that's here in Ann Arbor. It's not all about money. It's about how I'm perceived in the nation. And Michigan is perceived very well now. So with that being said, and look, as I said to everybody, you got to have a great coaching staff. And Jim has a great coaching staff. And I hold those guys in high esteem. I mean, I would name some. I'm just going to say the X factor is Ben Herbert, though. That's the strength and conditioning coach. He spends more time with these young men. He sets the tone for Jim Harbaugh. And if you have a strong strength and conditioning coach, because he's getting you ready each and every day, he knows. He pounds things in your head. We got to beat this team. You're doing this for this. We're going to do that. I mean, that's the most. Mike Gittleson was the greatest strength and conditioning coach I saw in my life. But Ben Herbert is right there with him.
No doubt. And you mentioned the coaching staff too, and Jamie, we'll let you go after this. Just a quick thought. I mean, I don't know if Jim Harbaugh gets enough credit for really revamping the coaching, the assistants on this team with Ron Bellamy and Mike Hart, Mike McDonald back a few years ago when he came in as a DC, and now Jesse Minter, Sharon, just to name a few guys that have come in and infused this, as Jim Harbaugh would say, enthusiasm unknown to mankind, a love for Michigan, a love for these players. I'm not sure he gets enough credit for doing that.
No, he doesn't. He does not. And what do those three all have in common that you named? Mike Elston played here at Michigan. Ron Bellamy played here at Michigan. Mike Hart, the all-time leading rusher at Michigan. I mean, he knows, and he can give his experience to these kids. The running backs understand what Michigan is all about. You know, it's not a bunch of, and we don't have old pictures on the wall and different things like that, but we come back. The former players come back. And if any player can walk up to a former player and they'll tell you about their career here and what their lives here. Ann Arbor is, I mean, hey, it's Michigan, but Ann Arbor is a piece of gold here for these kids.
The great Jaime Morris. Check him out on WTKA, host of the M Zone on X at JMorris23. The great Jaime Morris. Thank you, sir. Hopefully you get some sleep over the next couple of days.
Thanks, Jamie.
I ain't sleeping. I'm staying up. I can't believe I'm gonna watch this game again. You know I recorded it. Now I got to go home and watch it. But thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I'm not doing my radio show today because I'm gonna take a nap. But hey, tomorrow y'all want to listen because I got things to say.
Yes, sir, Jamie.
Great stuff.
Hey,
Love
go
you, Jamie.
Lions too.
Awesome. All right.
Go Lions, exactly. Go Lions. I love it.
Lions, baby. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk more about this. Also, we'll get to the Lions. Doc Maakaron going to join us from SI.com. Hey, we'll do that. But first, a message from Swiss.
Do you have football on the brain? It's already been a very, very awesome college and pro football season this year. Fall and winter is the perfect time to shop your home and auto insurance. Shop it like a pro with Swiss Insurance. They cover Woodward Sports Network, and they should be covering you too. Shop it like a pro with Swiss Insurance. Ask for Mark at Swiss Insurance today at swissins.com or call 248-800-4177.
Savor the heart of home at Big Boy with our all-new Down Home Comfort Dishes. Feast on home-style goodness with our Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl, veal parmigiana, and apple pie hotcakes. The Down Home delight doesn't stop there. Potato pancakes are back. Dive into the richness of our perfectly crafted potatoes with our classic potato pancakes and our stuffed potato pancakes. Top off your meal with our new gingerbread shake, a seamless blend of creamy vanilla and sweet gingerbread flavors. Nothing beats the comforting taste of Down Home cooking. Enjoy every bite, only at Big Boy.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions, featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
At Planet Fitness, you can get energy without the judgment.
Hi, can you help me with this?
You don't know how to use it?
This is better.
Join now through January 12th for just 24 cents down, $10 a month. Never intimidating, always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. Join today during the Big Fitness Energy Sale for 24 cents down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, January 12th.
Over 50 Metro Detroit locations.
Hey, gang, let me tell you about Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. I have an appointment tomorrow with my stylist, Becca, here at Lady Jane's. I'm going to be looking real good tomorrow. You should, too. Come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and register to win a trip of your dreams, an all-expenses paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That's right. No expense spared for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's open 7 days a week. You could walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
And let me tell you about Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit FeldmanAuto.com to find the location nearest you. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. Catch Woodward Sports Network live from Feldman Chevrolet of Novi every other Monday. It's the Feldman Advantage. Take advantage. And now back to Ryan and Maz on the Ermanni and Edwards with Maz show.
Doc Maakaron, publisher of All Lions, SI.com, on X at Detroit Podcast, is going to join us in about 5 minutes from now. In the meantime, I do think it is fun. You go to the front page of ESPN.com. One of the things on there is
Mike Vrabel.
The 2024 way too early top 25. How about that? Have you seen this yet?
No.
Okay. I don't know if we have it or not.
Yeah.
Don't put it up.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. Never mind. Did
No,
you see it, Maz?
No.
Okay.
I thought that was the top 25.
I just want him to guess real quick.
Yep.
Maz, who's number 1 next year?
Georgia.
Yes. Georgia's number 1. Who's number 2, Maz? They were in the college football playoff.
Alabama.
Texas.
Texas. Okay.
Texas number 2. Do you know who number 3 is? They were in the what do they call it? The big New Year's 6.
New Year's 6. Okay, number 3, New Year's 6. LSU.
Oregon.
Okay.
I don't even know what the New Year's 6. That New Year's 6 is the dumbest
garbage.
thing
It's not anymore
I've
anyway.
ever seen
It's
in
over.
my life.
It's over.
Number 4.
Michigan.
Nope. This team Michigan beat.
Ohio State.
Nope. The
Washington.
other team. Michigan.
Alabama.
Alabama number 4. Number 5 is also a team that Michigan beat.
Ohio State.
Yes. So we've got so far. You've got the usual suspects: Georgia 1, Texas 2, Oregon 3, Alabama 4, Ohio State 5, and
Michigan.
Your Michigan Wolverines coming in at number 6. Now you can put it up.
Well, this is the final poll. My bad. This is the final poll for this
that's the
year.
final poll. Okay.
Yeah.
So next year, here's what it says: 2024 outlook. After returning to the college football playoff for a third straight year, there will be a lot of uncertainty surrounding the Michigan program heading into the offseason. Will Jim Harbaugh sign a contract extension at his alma mater or jump to the NFL? The Wolverines have already received a notice of allegations from the NCAA regarding recruiting violations. There's a separate NCAA investigation into the program's alleged sign stealing. Harbaugh might face another suspension in 2024 if he returns. On the field, the Wolverines are going to lose a boatload of talent, especially if McCarthy and Edwards leave for the NFL draft. The offensive line will have to be rebuilt, and key pieces will have to be replaced on defense.
No problem.
The Wolverines play one of the most difficult schedules in FBS next season, with home games against Texas, USC, and Oregon, and road games at Washington and at Ohio State. Fine. Everybody wanted the tough schedule. Here's the tough schedule. There's going to be a team with 4 losses that gets in the college football playoff next year. I guarantee it.
Well, yeah,
you can
top
mark
12.
this down.
Top 12.
So that doesn't matter. But you do have to win some games. You just can't go over the season.
Are they going to lead off with Texas?
One of the things about, it's the second game of the year.
Okay.
One of the things about Oregon, Washington, USC, and UCLA, everybody used to say, well, the SEC just plays a different brand of football that you can't compete with. I'm not sure these Pac-12 teams are ready to compete in the Big Ten with the stifling run defenses, with the powerful run offenses. I'm not sure they're there yet. They almost play that Rich Rodriguez style of offense with the smaller offensive line and smaller defensive lines. And that's my point. Yeah. That is maybe a blueprint for what you're going to see out of Oregon, Washington, USC, and UCLA in the coming 2 or 3 years at least, until they, get with the program and build a team ready to play for the Big Ten.
Will there be a quarterback as prolific as Caleb Williams or Michael Penix of those 4 teams that are coming into the Big? Even Bo Nix. They're all gone.
Well, who's the Gabriel kid from Oklahoma who transferred to Oregon?
He went to Oregon.
So he will be of that ilk.
Yeah, he would. Dylan Gabriel.
Dylan Gabriel is his name.
Now, if JJ leaves, who's Michigan's guy? I know they've got a
portal. Transfer portal. Probably.
Not Orgy?
I don't know. Orgy, maybe.
And who's the young kid that they have?
Jaden Davis. He was like a top 5 quarterback recruit this year. Jaden Davis. I don't know if you give a national championship type team to a true freshman.
Ohio State got Kansas State's quarterback.
Great. Who was worse than Kyle McCord? Fine. Maybe you
McCord
go to the
went
portal.
Syracuse.
I mean, I'll just throw a name out there. What about Tunga Vailoa?
You don't think he's going pro?
He's transfer portal.
He is.
He's in the
Tulia's in the transfer portal.
Tulia's in the transfer portal.
Wow.
I mean, I'm just throwing a name out there that people might know. I mean, I don't know.
That's funny.
I'm sure Jim.
Is Joe Milton still out there?
One of the things that I hope we don't see anymore, and I think last night was the end of it, is the 24, 25-year-old quarterback. Because they got the extra year with COVID.
Right.
I think last night was the last class of that.
Who's the guy at Notre Dame? Sam,
whatever, I forget his name, but he was 24. Yeah. Bo Nix is 24 years old. Michael Penix is 24 years old. You know?
That's good. I don't want to see these old guys in there. These old men, Hendon Hooker.
It's not a that's not a fair fight.
I know, but none of them won.
Right, I know, right? That's true.
None of them won.
Sam Hartman, I think the guy's name is.
Sam Hartman.
So,
whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
But you might be right there, right?
Do we have? Yep. Okay, we do. So let's do that right now. Our good friend Doc Maakaron, publisher of All Lions on SI.com, joins us now. Doc, how you doing, my friend? First and foremost, before we talk Lions, your thoughts on last night's national championship?
I saw you smoking.
Yeah, it was great, man. Got with the boys, ate some venison chili, enjoyed a nice game of football. Look, I had no doubt. I told the fellas in the morning, Michigan plus 10. I thought that Michigan really constructed one of the best football teams maybe of all time. And it was an enjoyable game, but, man, Penix couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. I thought that the game could have been a lot better had Washington's offense brought it, but I had no doubts Michigan was going to win it. It's well-deserved, and it's good to see the Michigan fan base celebrate and Ann Arbor singing. And it was just nice to see a festive Michigan atmosphere regarding sports, man. It was great to see.
So now let's keep this train rolling on to Sunday night, Lions and Rams. When you heard the matchup, the Rams go for 2. They beat the 49ers. You know the matchup is set. What was your initial impression of this matchup as a whole?
Yeah, absolutely. I was elated. I was watching, got the scoreboard on, seeing what was going on. I really had thought that it was going to be the Lions and the Packers. Everybody like I said, anybody in the media that wants to talk about football on a daily basis intently was looking forward to this matchup. So I was thrilled once it happened. I was first in shock that something that you really wanted based on what could happen this week. And it's already started. The fever-pitched nature of playoff football and the attention given to the Lions. Obviously now digging into the film, you look at a Rams team that's one of the hottest teams in football, and an old friend comes back to Ford Field, and the Lions are tasked with stopping an offense that has played well as of late. I think the Rams have won 7 of their last 8 games, multiple games in a row, one of the hottest teams in football. And all the storylines this week that people are looking at, highlighted by Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford, there's so much to dive into, and it's just been exciting. Like I said, I'm wearing a perma smile. I'm enjoying all the coverage. I know people are definitely not so much interested in all the opinions of Kelly Stafford, but hey, she gets in the mix too, and there's so much to talk about with this football game. I can't wait to break it down and talk about whatever anybody wants to talk about.
Hey, Doc, of the 6 playoff games that are on the docket, it is Cleveland and the Texans, Dolphins and Kansas City, Steelers, Bills, Packers, Cowboys, and, of course, the Eagles and the Bucks. I think the Rams-Lions game is the toughest game. I think the favorites can all hold serve, except the Lions game makes my stomach hurt. I just feel that the Rams are the perfect matchup against the Lions. Great passing, great running. Defense, not the best. Have some good games in them. What's your take on that? I mean, forget Stafford coming back and all that. Just look at the matchups, man. And aren't you a little worried?
Yeah, obviously, I'm talking first of all about the coverage and the attention given to the Lions. So definitely it's going to be there. But when you look at it, obviously opening line of 3, really indicating that the Vegas and everybody kind of thinks this is an even matchup. So look, I look at it like in any situation you want to play the best. And for the Lions, if they do advance, and we'll talk about keys and how they can do that, then you're looking at a momentum swing and a push knowing that you just beat one of the hottest teams in football heading potentially into Dallas. So I think this is a great opportunity. And I look at it at this point, and I'm just starting with faith based on what I saw this season. Covering 17 NFL games, you got the Detroit Lions winning 12 of them. It's not going to be a blowout. You got to, everybody out there, I'm telling you now, get your drink in hand, get your diapers ready. It's going to be a nail biter right down to the finish. And I'm still kind of wondering if I want Goff to have the ball last or Stafford. But I look at this contest and I see two evenly matched teams that are going to battle down to the wire. But in the end, like Dan Campbell said, this team has been scarred to perfection. At this point, I'm of the belief that the Lions are going to make the key plays late. They're going to step up. I know the injury to Sam Laporta muddies things and makes it a lot more evenly matched. But I think when you look at this Lions football team, led by Jared Goff, led by that offense based on the weapons that they have, and a defense that's opportunistic, I think that if the Lions bring it and they play to the capability that we've seen now for the last 4 months, you have an opportunity to advance. That's why my hope level's high. And obviously we'll talk about Stafford and Goff and things like that. But my hope level is very high that this football team will make the plays.
I want the ball last, by the way. Okay? I want the ball last.
Me, I actually, Maz, I'm the opposite. I want Stafford to have the ball last because I know he's going to throw the ball to C.D. Deuce or Kirby Joseph or Brian Branch. And like I said, I just keep visioning it. Maybe, like I said, I've been doing a lot of manifesting lately, and stuff has come true. I could see Stafford have the ball late, a nice play to Cooper Kupp. Everybody's nervous, and then he makes the ill-fated throw that he often did when he played here in Detroit. And you could see C.D. Deuce high-stepping into the end zone, Deion style. I just keep envisioning it. I hope it happens. Maybe it's Kirby Joseph, but I think that Stafford, who let down Metro Detroit for 12 years, will do it again for the Rams.
I love that, Doc.
Hey, Doc, let me ask you, there's been so much talk about Stafford coming back to Ford Field, and it's great, and we're going to get sick of that conversation really quick, I think. But what about Jared Goff playing against his former team, the team that said you're not good enough for us to win a Super Bowl? What do you think's going through his mind? Do you think he wanted the Rams? Do you think he cared? I mean, I'm sure he had to care. I'm sure he loves this matchup.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I think the opportunity presents itself just on the surface. If he's able to play well and lead this football team, you're looking at potentially doubling his yearly salary. Literally. So he's going to be motivated to play at the highest level to bring Detroit their first home playoff game and their first victory at Ford Field in decades. So then on the surface, you look at it for Jared Goff, and obviously people thought that he was a cast-off when he first was traded here. But in the end, what happened? Really, Jared Goff embodies the grittiness of the players that people in the coaching staff and the front office would appreciate. It was the best thing that ever happened to him to be cast off. Remember, he's a former #1 overall pick. He had a system set up for him. And when you face adversity, when you come to Detroit and your first year is a disaster and everybody's pointing at you, it really showed what kind of grit that man has and the ability to withstand the pressure. He really, give him credit for bettering himself and working with a coordinator to really highlight what he's good at. And so for Jared Goff, I think he's licking his chops.
Doc, you got a couple more minutes for us? Can I take a break, or do you got to go?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
As long as you guys want.
Yep, great. One more segment with Doc here. There's a lot I want to get to, and I'm up against it here. Want to welcome to the crew Ian Cormier as well. Just joined the Woodward crew as well on YouTube. You could do that as well in the YouTube chat. So thanks so much. Doc Maakaron going to continue on with us here. Going to ask him 2 fill-in-the-blank questions as well. I've got some good ones coming up next. But first, a message from Fairway Packing Company. That's right. For over 60 years, Fairway Packing has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. You can experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. All you got to do, visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods on Mack Avenue. If you can't visit in person, you can order online. FairwayPacking.com. FairwayPacking.com.
And I have a question for you. Have you ever wanted a bar where you're a regular? We have just the place for you. Head to one of Hamlin Pub's 7 locations and experience where everyone is a regular. Whether you're enjoying half-off pizza on a Thursday or game day specials available during all Michigan sports and NFL games, Hamlin Pub is the place. Visit a location today and experience your new favorite pub for all things sports.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists, and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Hey guys, it's Maz for Jack Labrador. JackLabrador.com. Click on that QR code. This was a great stocking stuffer for the holidays. It could be some great birthday presents, anniversary presents, whatever you want to hand out, or just want to be nice to your friends. JackLabrador.com. It's a new way to play rock, paper, scissors. 2 new symbols, 5 new ways to play this thing. You got to get it, guys. Click on that QR code. Check it out. It's only $20. JackLabrador.com. Make sure you tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
Talking Lions, if you want to hear any Michigan talking, why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you?
You back this show up. We spent the first hour and 5 minutes or so of the show on all things Michigan, including a conversation with Jaime Morris, who was there at the game last night. So we encourage you to back that up, back the show up. Pause.
Hold on there. Hey, Doc, you think Harbs is coming back?
Man, it's wild. I mean, what a great way to send off, right? Win, but it's going to be tough to see what kind of suitors. I'm not sure the current NFL game suits him. I think he's perfect for college football, and I think that he could have a lifetime job. I think, look, if you survive what just happened the last 4 months, multiple suspensions, and you're still the king of college football, I think you should stay, because look if Mike Vrabel gets fired, if Bill Belichick, after all the success he has, the NFL is just a dog-eat-dog world. You got 3 years max in the NFL. I think he should stay. But if he does come, look out and go out to Los Angeles and take the Chargers job.
Time will tell, no doubt about that. Let's get back to the Lions, and we are talking to our good friend John Doc Maakaron on X at Detroit Podcast, publisher of all Lions on SI.com. All right, I want to play 2 fill-in-the-blank questions from you. Kool-Aid, will you give me a little beat behind this? Just a little bit. Let's spruce it up a little bit.
Oh, beat.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Here we go. I'm adjusting my tie. Okay.
Did you wear your Michigan tie today?
I wore a solid maize tie.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, Doc. Fill in the blank. If the Lions beat the Rams, this will be a blank season. If the Lions beat the Rams, this will be a blank season.
It'll be a spectacular season. You would have met your season goal. I think that everybody in town would go ecstatic. Sunday night primetime at Ford Field, beating Matthew Stafford and the Rams, it would be ecstatic. It'd be fantastic, and I think everybody would kind of breathe a sigh of relief, letting go of a moniker that nobody's proud of.
Okay, question number 2. Let me adjust my tie again. If the Lions lose to the Rams, this will be a blank season.
It will be a colossal failure of a season.
Oh!
Look, yes, absolutely.
That's what I was looking for.
Colossal failure. This is the goal. This is a football team that was built to really play well and shine, and I think that when you got a starting quarterback like Jared Goff, you have all these offensive weapons, you got 2 coordinators that potentially could be head coaches in front of the home crowd. I think that it would be a disaster, especially losing to that opponent. It would be colossal, and it would be something that could potentially erase all the goodwill that Dan Campbell built up the last 2 years.
So 3 wins to 9 wins to 12 wins and an NFC North banner at Ford Field. And it's a colossal mistake or colossal disaster, as you're calling it. Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, Maz, this is the NFL. It's the winning business. And where is the winning taking place the most? Where's the most attention? It's in the postseason. If Dan Campbell just gets to the postseason every year, the noise will be ratcheted up. He's not only brought here to look, I don't think Sheila brought him here to have regular season success, win 10, 11, 12 games. That's a given. The next step where Dan Campbell will earn his chops and earn his keep is in the postseason. If he can get this football team into the NFC title game and move on, that's where the legacy is built. All the rest is just preparation for this moment. Look, regular season goals are great, but in the end, when you're playing at this level of football, it's all about winning in the playoffs, and that's where money is made, and that's where coaches get their reputation.
God Hates Coward says, bummer of a season. Jake Wegner in the chat says, colossal disappointment for sure. There was another one in here, failure, colossal failure seems extreme, but that's exactly where I wanted to go with this. Because I'll be honest with you, I hate the matchup. I think sports, NBA, NHL, pitching matchups in baseball, the NFL is matchup driven. I absolutely hate this matchup.
So do I.
With the LA Rams. That being said, if the Lions do lose to the Rams, I'm trying to characterize what I think of this season, and I think it would be very disappointing. But because of the fact that they did win the division championship, you know what? No, I just talked myself the other way. It would be a failed season. Look, it would be a failed season. I think it would be. You got to win a playoff game. You got to win a playoff game.
You got to win a playoff game.
That's what this whole thing's about.
That's what it's about. It's about moving forward, taking the Lions from a football team that was never really respected and moving forward. And look, even though this season would be considered a failure, doesn't mean they can't pick themselves up. Another draft, another free agency. You look at this football team, obviously super high trust in Brad Holmes and what he's been bringing to the table. But at the bottom line, every team that is a contender should always be looking for one spot, and that's to hoist the Lombardi Trophy. The rest are just contenders and pretenders. So
great caveat there, Doc. Great caveat there, because this thing is going up in the right direction.
Absolutely. It's trending in the right direction. I think the Lions are going to be perennial playoff contenders and have this opportunity. I think that when you look at it, the way it's been built, 12 wins, and I think that I know you guys are looking at this matchup and are scared, and you guys are worried about Matthew Stafford and Nakua and Kupp. But here's the thing. Look at what the Lions do well.
And Williams.
Tough, gritty, running the football, opportunistic defense, getting Ali McNeil, CD Deuce back. I know it's going to be a situation in which it's going to be a matchup nightmare, and it's not going to be a blowout and not going to be easy. But the Lions do a lot of things well. And I think, too, when you have an injury, that just makes everybody focus. You got Amon-Ra St. Brown, who has played at such a high level. I think when this matchup came out, I said that the Lions are going to play their best brand of football. They're going to give themselves the best opportunity to execute. And I think that the Lions fans should sit back and enjoy a close contest. Guys, 12 wins out of 17, that should give you enough hope that at the very least, benefit of the doubt, the Lions are a contender to play well in the postseason and to advance. I think that Matthew Stafford is a sitting target. No mobile quarterback.
Right.
You got the weakness, I think, of the Rams is obviously similar to a lot of teams. They're not the best in the secondary. The Lions' passing attack should be able to do some things. And here you go. If you can keep Jared Goff upright, I know Aaron Donald and Kobe Turner are going to bring the pressure, but the Lions' offensive line stacks up. If Jared Goff can cook, look out. I think the Lions are going to put up some points.
Yeah, let me say this, too. Just because I think it's a bad matchup doesn't mean I think they're going to lose the game. It's a very different assessment there. I just don't like the matchup. But, Maz, I've got a question for you.
Please.
We have talked all season long about what this season is about.
Mm-hmm.
You have said you don't care whether or not they win the division and get a home playoff game, just as long as they win a playoff game.
I did say that.
So, I feel like it's a little bit of a, are you walking that back? And you can.
Yeah.
I'm
just going to tell you this.
Can't.
I'm not going to say it's a colossal disaster.
Yeah, colossal disaster.
I'm not going to say that.
Failure.
I'm going to say
failed season. I'd say.
I'm going to say it's one of the most enjoyable seasons I've ever had as a Lions fan. to watch this team.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
And
I
the
keep
thing
going back
is,
and
they haven't
forth.
lost
I
2
don't
games
know.
in a row. But now you can't lose any in a row. It's win or go home. And as much as I don't like this matchup, there's no team I'd like to knock out more than this team. As much as I loved Matthew Stafford, and I still do, I'm not going to be rocking a number 9 Stafford jersey come Sunday.
Nor should anybody else, by the way.
I've got a Matthew Stafford standee from the old Monday night game against Baltimore at home. I'm going to put like a cape over his face and over his head. I'm going to do everything I can. I'm going to throw darts at it. I'm going to do everything I can. Like Doc said, I'm going to put it out in the universe that the Lions are going to win this game and get to the divisional round. And if Dallas does win, we're going to beat that ass come the following week.
Pause.
Look, guys, I'll say this. It's interesting. It's interesting when you look at it, what's driving your concern about the matchup. You look at it and you say, well, the ease of victory. I think that when you look at it, you guys are in the postseason. The Lions are in the postseason. There really is no easy matchup. It's going to be dogged to try and advance. So when you look at it, is you got to gain confidence in the Lions' ability to match up against any team that they go against. Yeah, are the Rams, do they have some strengths? Yeah. Do they have a quarterback that's going to be motivated? Yeah. But at the same time, you should be confident after what I'm saying is after a 12-5 season, even if the matchup is not perfect, even if you're not an overwhelming favorite, the Lions do so many things well with a great head coach and assistants. I think that you should be confident and appreciate that any tough matchup the Lions still have an opportunity to be in. Could you imagine if this football team came in limping into the postseason? I think it would be a lot more nervousness. You should be confident that this football team, even in a tough matchup that you may not like, Lions have a good chance, a real strong chance of winning.
All right, describe this game to me. No Sam Laporta, probably. No Khalif Raymond, probably. How's this game shake out? And give me your final score, Doc.
Yeah, like anything, how I see it playing out is 2 teams going back and forth, trading punches. Stafford obviously is going to have a couple explosive plays. I think Cooper Kupp, Nakua are going to do some things against the Lions secondary, but at the same time, the Lions are going to respond each and every time. Obviously, clearly, the one thing I don't want to see the Lions setting up for a field goal kick late in the game. You want to be able to march down the field and score a touchdown. I think this is going to be a very close contest with 2 football teams that are going to fight until the end. But in the end, the Lions make the 2 or 3 more plays. Dan Campbell will outcoach Sean McVay, and the crowd at Ford Field is going to go wild. If you're going to the game, bring your ear protection because it's going to be the loudest environment anybody's ever seen. And I think that Matthew Stafford, to me, I think he's going to give the Lions 2 turnovers easily. And I think that those opportunities that the Lions will have, just that very small nature, that small margin that the Lions do have on defense to get a turnover, I think will be the key. If they can get one on defense, my goodness, it'll bode well for the Lions. But I think that, if you're faint of heart, guys, if anyone in the chat is nervous, they didn't like all those close games in the last 2 years, take your Xanax and watch because this one's going to be a nail-biter.
John Doc Maakaron, you can check him out. All things Lions, all Lions, I should say, all Lions on SI.com. Great stuff,
all right, Doc.
Enjoy the game this week, and we'll enjoy your coverage, of course, at Detroit Podcast on X. Thanks, Doc.
See you, Doc.
I appreciate you guys. I look forward to talking. Hopefully, Lions Cowboys too. Let's go. Manifest it. Lions win.
Hell with that. I'm hoping the Cowboys lose to the Packers, so the Lions play a home game against the winner of Tampa and Philadelphia.
There you go.
How about that?
I like
Look
that.
at that, baby. Come
Bye,
on
Dallas.
now, guys. Break time. We'll be back. We'll go around the NFL. Another head coach lost his job in the NFL today. Will that cause a domino effect? We'll look at that next. But first, a message from Planet Fitness.
Planet Fitness is home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you will experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all of this for just $10 a month, no commitment. No matter where you are, there is a Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Hey guys, it's Maz for Premier Pet Supply and PremierPetSupply.com. You know it, hands down, Michigan's best pet store, same prices and all the conveniences and of the online and big box retails with one major difference. It's family and locally owned and operated for over 30 years. Over 60 brands of food with nutrition experts to help you out. Same day curbside delivery and home delivery as well. Premier Pet Supply, give your pet the best. Check it out online at PremierPetSupply.com. Yes, sir.
Hey, guys, lots going on in the NFL. The firings continue.
What do you mean I'm fired?
What do you mean I'm fired? What's the guy got to do to get fired around here?
We had some of the best guys around here.
Oh, man.
Unbelievable. The bar is high.
The bar is high.
My shovel is
my
here.
Pick
My
is
pick is sharp.
Boy,
if we got...
What is it? My pick is sharp.
My shovel
my
is...
will is strong. No, my will is outstanding.
Yeah, something with it. Rod Marin. God bless these guys.
My gosh.
Boy, if we had it here in Detroit. What a clown show it's been. Till now.
Clown show.
Till now.
All right, let's go around the NFL.
Yes,
what happened
sir.
today, Maz?
What happened today is Mike Vrabel and the Tennessee Titans decided to split up and divorce after 6 years. And this guy's a terrific coach and motivator. Mike Vrabel and the Tennessee Titans are splitting up, man. That's a good coach out there. And I don't think he's going to be out of work for long.
You know, it just goes to show you, too, and he is a good coach, but it just
I hope Harbaugh watches this.
It just goes to show you how very few guys in the league, Bill Belichick, Pete Carroll, John Harbaugh, Mike Tomlin, 4 out of 32. I don't think there's another guy I'm missing that has lasted. Andy Reid. So 5 guys last. 5 out of 32. So not only do you have to be incredibly good to get the job, right?
Yeah.
But it's almost like the top 1% of the top 1%.
Yeah.
Last.
And you got to hope that your GM is drafting good players.
Man, is this a hard thing because this was the #1 seed overall.
Yeah, just a couple
of years ago, and now
and a coach of the year
fired. No good.
Now yesterday, Brian Daboll. Well, 2 days ago, Brian Daboll.
So by the way,
Giants.
a lot of rumors now whether or not he'll get the Patriots job.
Yeah.
And the Patriots, if they keep Bill Belichick, they're going to bring back
Josh McDaniels,
which is so dumb.
Yeah, they're the stupidest organization.
Without
Tom Brady,
all they keep doing is digging into the rearview mirror.
Without Tom Brady, they're a joke. They are. They were a joke prior, and they're a joke now.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact. Tom Brady was that franchise.
I am a little shocked. Speaking of Tom Brady, I am a little shocked that he hasn't said anything on
about Fox?
Social media about Michigan.
Oh, he didn't?
Like, he didn't tweet out anything.
Maybe he's pissed. Maybe they didn't invite him to the game or
No,
something.
he tweeted out before the game, but not after the game.
Derek Jeter's a big Michigan guy.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
even though he never went.
Well, he committed to Michigan.
I know he did.
You know, he's a big Michigan fan.
I love to see Jeets.
In that box, but the Worldwide West is everywhere. Man, that guy, always with Jordan. Unbelievable.
Hanger honors.
Oh, man. Good career out of that.
Yep, no question about it.
Okay,
Hey,
you mentioned Brian Daboll.
Yeah, a couple days ago he let a couple of assistants go. Well, yesterday, Wink Martindale, his longtime defensive coordinator, one of the better guys in the NFL, has decided to leave the team. Obviously, he wasn't happy probably about the firings that Daboll did. But Daboll's taking control of this team.
They butt heads at all?
I like him.
Did they butt heads at all?
They must have.
Right.
Either that or he fired a couple guys that this guy liked. Mm-hmm. You never really know.
Never know.
In this league.
No.
All right, so that goes there. All right, here we go. Back to Sunday. The Atlanta Falcons were down.
Oh, God, this is great.
They were down 41-10 to the New Orleans Saints. So the Saints have a punt return that goes down at the 1-yard line. And the clock is running out. They go out, and they go into their coach sends it out. Dennis Allen, head coach of the Saints, says, kneel down. Victory formation. Victory formation. Jameis Winston takes it upon himself in the huddle to say, hey, guys, I know the coach said this, but why don't we give the ball to Jamal Williams? He hasn't had a touchdown all year. You remember last year with the Lions? Well, he hasn't had a touchdown this year. They hand it off to him. He scores in a victory formation that Atlanta wasn't ready for. Arthur Smith walking across the field, F you to the head coach, Dennis Allen.
And I appreciate Dennis Allen's response.
He did.
I understand.
Yeah. So basically, Jameis Winston said, we took it upon ourselves. We took a vote, and the team wanted to score. So now a reporter from New Orleans comes up to him and asks him about that.
Oh, sorry. Didn't have it ready. Sorry.
I could have sworn that Jameis Winston had a conversation with a reporter from the Saints, and the Saints reporter said
that. Well, you do have to play these guys twice a year. That's all I'm saying. We already played them twice. I know, but I'm talking about the future. Somebody's got to play these guys twice a year. That's all. How do you feel about it? Tell me how you feel about it. Not good. Why don't you feel good about it? Because you got to play these guys twice a year. But what about it makes you not feel good about it? I just don't. The head coach tells you to kneel it up. You're asking my opinion? Yes. I think you should have kneeled it up. Okay. Well, I'm just telling you as respectfully as I can. You answer my question as respectfully as you could, and I'm telling you as respectfully as I can that I respectfully disagree with you. That's all. You disagree with me or the entire team? Whoever made that decision. Okay, so you disagree with the entire team. So thank you. No, I'm being honest and respectful. And that's what I'm attempting to do too. Yes. And that's what I am doing. So, yes.
Thing before I do this next thing, Ryan, I know you're a big Jameis Winston fan.
I love Jameis, but
is he not thinking about the guys talking about you got to play these guys twice a year? We already played them. We know it's the last game of the season, Jameis. We're talking about the future. What's your take on what they did?
I love Jameis, but it was Bush League.
It is.
It was Bush League. And the only reason I say it was Bush League is because they were in the victory formation. And this isn't one of those things where you're trying to fake the team out to like a John Elway or a Dan Marino or
they're
something.
Up 31.
Right. You're in the victory formation. So the defense isn't lined up to stop you. They're taking it easy. If you want to line up at the 1 and go for it, make them stop you.
Right.
I don't agree with it, but I wouldn't say it's Bush League at that point.
It was Bush League.
It was Bush League, if for nothing else, because you lined up in the victory formation and the defense isn't playing defense anymore.
I think Jameis Winston's time with the Saints is over. And I want to show you this piece. This is Shannon Sharp on his show on ESPN speaking up about Jameis Winston. You got to hear this, guys. And I am all for what Shannon is saying.
But I'll say this. I would cut Jameis Winston today. I would not want him on my team. That's loser's mentality. And people will say, well, Shannon, what about when Dan Marino fake spiked the ball or Peyton Manning? They were not in victory formation. If you get down, the defense is conceding. If you want to run the ball, let the defense line up. Don't you fool them, think there's a victory formation, and then drive off the ball. You mean to tell me that's going rogue? Dennis Allen's going to probably have to go because his players have no respect for him. Right. He said they sent victory formation in, but that's right, we made a decision. I'm sorry, Molly. I would cut Jameis Winston today. I would, if I'd been on that team, let me tell you what, I'd have jumped off sides on purpose. There's a mentality that you got to have if you want to play winning football. Jameis Winston has a loser's mentality. That's why they didn't win in Tampa. That's why Tom Brady came there, took the same team, and went to the Super Bowl. Look at what Baker Mayfield did with basically the same team, got him in the playoffs, something that Jameis Winston couldn't do.
Do me a favor, say that one more time on camera, what you would do.
I would cut him. I would cut Jameis Winston today.
Same thing I said. It's just not right.
No.
And it goes back to, we talk about Dan Campbell a lot, culture. You think a Dan Campbell coach team would do that?
Of course
go
not.
against something he says like that?
Oh, God, no.
Disrespect the organization? You're really disrespecting your head coach. You're disrespecting your owner. When
That's
you do
an embarrassment.
stuff like that. I
You
don't
remember
like
Greg
that.
Schiano when he was the head coach of the Buccaneers? What he would do when a team was trying to go in victory formation. Do you remember what he did with the Buccaneers?
No.
He had his defensive line attack the line. The offense was in a victory formation, and Greg Schiano, that rat at Rutgers,
What a piece of garbage.
that piece of garbage at Rutgers, had his team attack the victory formation to
State
try to get the
lover.
fumble. That little good for nothing rat.
You good for nothing.
You embarrassed
rat.
Jersey, Schiano. And I'm surprised Rutgers brought him back. That's a shame. But
What
you
are you
remember
doing,
they changed
Rutgers?
the rule. They changed the rules because of that Schiano. And of course he got fired, and he'll never see an NFL job again.
Somebody just mentioned in the chat, Nicholas Duncan, the Cat Williams interview. If you have time, go listen to the Shannon Sharp Club Shay Shay with Cat Williams. I mean, you want to talk about just flamethrower. Cat Williams, the funniest comedian of all time. No, let me say this: funniest comedian in the last 40 years.
Really?
30 years, 35 years.
Wow.
Well, I'm talking post Richard Pryor. Okay, he's every bit as funny as Eddie Murphy to me.
Whoa. Okay. I'll give it a listen.
Even if you want to take Eddie out of it, since Eddie Murphy.
What did Cat say that was so outlandish?
Just blowing up Chris Tucker. Chris Tucker ain't smoking no more. Talking about how all these comedians is selling out. Steve Harvey done sold out.
Family
just
Feud.
Blowing up everybody.
Okay.
And Shannon Sharp doesn't say anything. He's just letting them go for 40 minutes. He's like, I'm not a journalist.
I love Shannon Sharp.
You want 60 minutes? Go turn out 60 minutes. We got to get a break. Right back to wrap it up. But first, a message from Mark White.
Oh, yeah, that would be me.
That's
I was in the middle of
There you
doing
go,
stuff.
Pete.
Yeah,
You don't have that either, do you?
Oh, here we go. You know that Mark White is going to help you find that new home that you're dreaming of. And you're feeling the financial pinch, Mark White and Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Call Mark White and Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 and make your home buying dreams come true.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Any Lady Jane's haircuts for men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists, and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's haircuts for men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Lions fans, it's the moment we've all been waiting for. After 30 years, the playoffs are here in Detroit. Join us for the Ultimate Lions VIP tailgate this Sunday, hosted by Bullseye Event Group and sponsored by Long Drink, as the Lions take on Matthew Stafford and the Rams. Food, music, entertainment, and excitement. A chance to witness history. Let's roar together down at Eastern Market. Go to bullseyeeventgroup.com to get your tickets today. Now that I'm done with my crossword, back to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz.
Oh, your voice, by the way.
Pete doing crosswords. Pete even fumbles his way through reads with excellence. Cedric definitely stole that spaceship joke from Kat. Kat Williams, are you high? Louis C.K. Chappelle, obviously Chappelle is just phenomenal.
I don't think he's the same anymore.
I love Chappelle.
Yeah.
He's as funny as they come.
Give me Seinfeld. Give me Sebastian Maniscalco.
Both very funny. Hey, what do I do with these jeans that are hanging on the clothesline?
Sebastian is the man. If you never saw Sebastian Maniscalco, tune him on and have fun.
I think I might listen to it on the way home.
What are you going to listen to?
Sebastian Maniscalco.
Please do. Please do, because you will laugh out loud.
I was laughing my tail off today. I don't know if it was somebody in the building or not.
Oh, you're going to tell the story?
Yeah.
I was thinking it might be someone at my other place of work. I might have left it up on my computer, and I'm not sure. I was thinking of that.
So, Maz, somebody...
I go get us waters at about 5 to 2. I go to Birmingham Roast. Lydia takes great care of us, the whole gang there. I'm bringing waters in, and I look at my phone. First thing I see is a tweet from me that I didn't do.
He didn't
so
send
now
it.
I'm looking, I'm like, is it a fake Maz? No, it's
Maz
me.
goes, I've been hacked. I've been hacked.
And it said something about me disparaging Jim Harbaugh in Michigan.
Oh, they ain't the
that
champs.
I bring great shame. He's brought great shame to the program. And I'm like, what the F is this? So then I tweet back on myself. I didn't do this. Then I'm like, let me just delete the effing thing. So I delete it, and then I tell Ryan, and he's rolling on the ground, and I'm pissed. And I'm trying to figure out what the hell happened. Did somebody like Spencer come in here and hack my phone?
So I go in the back, and I'm like, guys, any of you guys like tweet for Bass? And they're like, what are you talking about? And I knew right then and there when I had to explain myself that it was nobody here. So I was like, maybe somebody's got your login.
So I changed my password. I haven't seen it. I've kept track. I haven't seen anything. So if you guys see anything that's a little wacky and you know it ain't me, let me know.
They ain't the real champs. He's brought great shame. Oh my God.
And I'm glad Ryan,
so great,
Ryan gets a
dude.
kick out of me just being abused. That's what it comes down to. Anything bad that happens to me, he just laughs his ass off.
Hey, Pistons tonight, real quick. 30 seconds on it. Kool-Aid, what do you think?
The King's in town.
Hey, look, man, the biggest thing, honestly, with the Pistons right now is Cade Cunningham. He's out 7 to 10 days. They're going to reevaluate with that knee strain. Luckily, it wasn't anything more. I really hope that they just honestly let him rest longer than that as well.
Just shut him down.
Just kind of let him rest.
Shut him down like they did last year.
He's carried this. I mean, look, how much work has he had to do just to help them get the 3 wins?
Shut him
it's
down.
Like, just let him chill, man.
We got the Kings tonight, and who's here tomorrow?
Hey, Wemby in the San Antonio Spurs.
And who's out for the year?
Ja Morant, bro.
Oh,
that
poor guy.
sucks.
It does suck.
Listen, I hope he doesn't fall to the bad side again.
Right, when you're without structure.
That's what I'm hoping for.
When you're without structure, it's tough.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. Go Blue, heavyweights, Woodward Knights.
Real quick, today's.
Oh, yeah, the state of Michigan and Governor Whitmer have proclaimed that January 9th, 2024 shall be known as Michigan Wolverine Day. So there's that.
And happy birthday to my pop up in heaven.
Absolutely.
Judge Spivak.
He would have been 91 today.
We
the
love
great
you, Judge.
Spivak. Absolutely. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. Go Blue, champs.
Go Blue.
Go Lions.